Good evening. These are the most important Rail Baltica updates and events. We invite you to watch. The Rail Baltica railway is being successfully built in Lithuania, stretching from the Polish border to Kaunas. Lithuania is currently the only Baltic country that has begun work on European standard tracks. In the territory of Lithuania, the European track to Kaunas will be completed in 2015. The Baltic states have also agreed in regards to the Rail Baltica 2 project, which plans to build a European track from Kaunas to Tallinn through Riga. The whole Baltic states region is discussing the benefits of the future project. We will travel around Europe faster. We will transport more cargo.
The Rail Baltica project in Lithuania is being brought to life by Lietuvos Geležinkeliai, which signed a €373 million European railway track construction contract with 5 general contractors. Assistance will be provided by more than 15 subcontractors. The contractors have already begun construction on a railway stretching from the Polish border to Kaunas. Work will be completed at the end of 2015. Lithuania has so far made the greatest steps in this project out of all the other participating countries, and is currently the only Baltic state that has already begun construction on a railway that is in compliance with the European standards. This will be a historical event when one of Lithuania's biggest cities and one of the most important logistical centers in the country, Kaunas, for the first time will join with Poland's and in turn Europe's railway infrastructure. In Lithuania, there are 2 standards for railway lines, which differ in width. The major part of all the railway lines in Lithuania, just as in Latvia and Estonia, is made up of wider, so-called Russian standard track. In Europe, standard railway are narrower. This is the main obstacle which prevents the Baltic countries from connecting with Europe.
Rail Baltica is the biggest investment project in the history of independent Lithuania. The scope of the contract work is indeed impressive. In a little more than 2 years, until 2015, contractors will have to build a 120 kilometers long new European standard track and also upgrade the current so-called Russian tracks.
During the entire construction period, the following will be reconstructed, installed and built: 18 bridges, 125 switches, 34 crossings, 90 culverts, repaired 6 railway stations, 18 platforms, 61 yards. This work will be completed over 2 years by almost 1,000 workers who will be assisted by about 700 units of various tillage, construction and railway building machinery and equipment. In total, for completion of all the construction work, 30,000 tons of metal and steel will be used to build and reconstruct the railway bridges and other objects. 800,000 tons of rubble, almost 1.5 million cubic meters of earthwork will be done. In order to better understand these enormous numbers, to load all the metal and rubble into freight wagons, we would have to create 10,000 wagon train, and for transportation of all the soil, 20,000 wagons. The total length of all these wagons would close to 400 kilometers, almost the same distance as from Tallinn to the Lithuanian-Latvian border.
Ministers responsible for the transport from 5 countries signed a declaration in which they agreed in regards to the implementation of the second stage of the Rail Baltica project, also known as Rail Baltica 2, where European standard tracks will stretch across Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia and Finland, and, as is planned in the white paper, will connect the capital cities of all the nations mentioned above.
Lithuania is actively working on preparations for the implementation of the project Rail Baltica. This year, a Strategic Environmental Impact Assessment (EIA) will be prepared. Preliminary analysis of the track alternatives has led to a positive assessment of the options to build the railway through Panevėžys. Having prepared the EIA, a special plan will be prepared shortly thereafter. This once again shows that Lithuania perfectly understands the importance of a European connection, which would connect the Baltic states with Europe's railway infrastructure, and this is why Lithuania is rapidly developing it.
With the project progressing, the high-quality Rail Baltica railway will connect Warsaw, Kaunas, Riga, Tallinn, and having reached the railway ferry Helsinki. Having reconstructed and built the new Rail Baltica European tracks from the Polish-Lithuanian border to Kaunas, the speed of passenger trains will increase to 120 km per hour, while cargo trains to 80 km per hour. Currently, trains can only travel up to 70 km per hour. Having implemented Rail Baltica 2, trains will be able to reach speeds of even 240 km per hour.
Having implemented the Rail Baltica project, we hope that railway transport will take over a large part of the commercial cargo that is transported between Finland, the Baltic states, Poland, and Germany. Currently, cargo is mostly transported in the north-south direction via roads and the sea. The largest trade flows moving in the north-south direction are in paper, timber products, mineral fuels and oil, iron, steel and food. It is foreseen that in the future, the amount of cargo transported by sea and railways will greatly increase. Travelers will also benefit. With the construction of Rail Baltica, we will be able to make it from Kaunas to Riga in just 2 hours and to Tallinn in less than 4 hours. In the future, travelers will also be able to quickly and safely travel all over Europe.
These are the most important updates from Rail Baltica. Thank you for watching. Until next time.